Hi, everyone, and welcome to Life on Your Terms. I'm your host, Suzanne Arjona, and today I want to talk a little bit about what is changing in your life or what has changed in your life. So, I've heard from a number of women in my social circles lately who talk about how life used to be. I put that in air quotes. So, today we're going to explore what happened, what changed in your life. I'm Suzanne Arjona, and this is Life on Your Terms, where we'll explore how to follow your heart, take control of your life, and live it on your terms. Okay, so this is what I've been hearing a lot of lately. I used to go out dancing. I used to have date nights. I used to have hobbies. Now, some of this may just be because you're in a different phase in life. Like, are you raising young children? Or maybe you're caring for aging parents. So there are different seasons in life. And part of honoring these seasons is recognizing that there are trade-offs. Okay. Once that season has passed, however, you can go back to your old life, or you could start something new. So take raising children, for example. Raising children takes a lot of time and energy. Time and energy that maybe used to be spent on getaway weekends or nights out with the girls. I've been there. When my twins were born, I quit my job to stay home with them. I mean, what really happened is that it didn't make financial sense for me to work only to put my entire paycheck towards daycare. So while I loved being home with them, my life changed significantly. People who I would socialize with on a daily basis, I no longer saw them. They were working and I was at home. Ultimately, I did end up starting a home business. So that helped, that was a decision that I had to make. It helped give me that social interaction that I needed, that I missed from working in a job. But this was just a choice I had to make when my life changed when I had children. But what happens when the kids are grown? What happens when they're grown and gone and you're still not spending time doing things you enjoy like you used to do? You've fallen into a rut of staying at home or watching TV, scrolling social media. This is where things have to change, okay? If the season in your life has changed, but you aren't making different choices, it's time to start. So if you're wondering, what happened to that life I used to love? What happened to concerts? What happened to hiking? What happened to, whatever? You fill in the blank of what you feel is missing in your life. So if you're wondering these things, then I want to ask you today, why aren't you doing them? We all get to make choices. That's the beauty of all of this. That's the beauty of your life. And it's when we stop actively making choices and let life just coast along, we can start to fall into resentment or depression or just plain boredom. Okay, we get into the habit of not doing anything, and then that habit perpetuates. Okay, so if you're feeling this sense of, what happened to the life I used to love, I invite you today to try these journal prompts. The first one is, what activity would I love to start doing in my life? And this doesn't have to be anything big. It could be vacations, or it could be a yoga class, or just reading more. So spend some time with that and really think about what you would enjoy having in your life again. Number 2, why aren't you doing this thing? What's holding you back from signing up for that yoga class? What's holding you back from taking up painting or pottery or whatever it is that you want back in your life? Now, this is a tough one. I'm not going to tell you that this is going to be easy, but really think about that. Why aren't you doing that thing that you listed in number 1? And then number 3, what are you going to do about it? This is where your power to choose and decide to take control of your life comes into play. This is the fun part, okay? Yes, again, it's going to be difficult, but it can be fun. What are you going to do about it? You get to make the choice. In addition to these journal prompts, I'd also like to invite you to join me in an upcoming 2-day online event that I'm planning. Now, I don't have all the details hashed out just yet, but we're getting really close. I am aiming for end of spring, beginning of summer, but I will spend 2 days with you and a small group of women sharing the tools to discover what's holding you back from taking control of your life. I will also share the real secret about life balance that the time management gurus don't take into consideration. So you can sign up for the details. I'll put the link down in the show notes. You'll be the first to find out when I set the date, and you will have the first shot at reserving your seat on the call. Okay, like I said, I'm planning on hosting this later in the spring or early summer, so be sure to get on the list. You won't want to miss out on this one. So if you're listening to this at a later date and the link no longer works, feel free to reach out and let me know that you're interested in the next time I run this event, and I will get back to you and I can put you on the list. So as for today, please share any ahas or insights that you got from those journal prompts. I'd really love to hear them. You can comment here, or you can reach out to me privately on Instagram or Substack if it's something, a little personal. If you'd like to chat about anything that came up during that exercise, just get with me. Let me know. I'd be happy to talk you through anything you're stuck on or anything you just kind of like to get out and talk about a little bit. So thanks for tuning in, and remember, it's your life. You get to choose how you live it. And I'll see you next time.